The auction gonna be lit, and it's gonna be a plethora of cars to choose from. Just give it some time. You can get what you want. Just go ahead and start going to the ghettos around you and start looking at the 30-day tags and start marking down the cars that you see and find a local. Figure out who is a local tow truck company, right?
Jack.
You dig what I'm saying? You see, you got Jack, you got Dale Old, you got Reliable Towing. I'm telling you, bombs. And you figure out where they take their cars at for the auction, and just give it some time. You know what I'm saying? Good things come to those who wait. You know what I mean? So for those that already blew their money, thank you in advance.
Yeah.
You know? That's my Lexus. You mean it was your Lexus? You got my car. Yeah.
It was plotting on it for a while.
Yo, been plotting on it, and hopefully they catch it like in the middle of the night. So you might be able to get the Lexus and the baby car seat for free.
Not the baby car seat.
Yeah, because whatever's in the car, it belongs. And people because people gonna come up there to the car dealer, the little auction place, and act a full fool. They're going, what you got, guys? You got? I only had the car for 30 days. You had it for 90. You only payment you paid was that $1,200 down. So. That's what you gonna get. You know what we gonna do? We gonna call Norfolk's Finest.
If they not already there.
And we're gonna tell you to praise God. God bless them. Good night. They're gonna hit you with an open finger hand. All right now.
Cool.
Take care. That's sign language you carry your ass. That's what that is right there. If somebody go like this, and you see this a lot in church too. That's the preacher throwing a blessing your way and telling you to carry your ass.
I can't.
Boom. All right, next one. Boom. All right, next one. Boom. Got blessing like flapjacks, baby.
But on that note, welcome back to another episode of Film Nerds.
Okay.
Of course, I'm your host James, and I'm joined by these good people.
Pew, pew, pew.
Minus one.
Oh, shit.
We ain't even a good 30 seconds to the
30
podcast.
seconds, boy.
It ain't even good 30 seconds. And I already want to call the HR department because I'm uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm working in a duressful and stressful situation.
I'm an artist. I can't work in these environments.
And the bad part is, if I quit, I don't get an unemployment check for this.
Facts. Lord have mercy.
I want no comment for that.
Punk heads.
Yep.
It's who y'all really came here to see.
That part.
Your boy Big Dale, a.k.a. the group home hero.
Yep.
A.k.a. the short bus ambassador.
Right.
A.k.a. your favorite play cousin.
Clearly.
A.k.a. podcast play cousin. A.k.a. the victim of this podcast.
The victim. Wow.
You're the ambassador, the hero, and the victim.
Of course, I'm the short bus ambassador.
Uh-huh.
Repping for everybody on the short bus, baby. Bus 309, stand up.
So now we just throwing out.
It sounded good.
You're like, all right, Bus 309. No, we not.
It's gonna switch up.
We not gonna rap.
Hey, but if you from the hood, hey, go play that on the pick 3. If you hit, you know what to cut the check at, right? You know where to cut. If 309 hit and you play it because you listen to this podcast, cut the check, baby.
Cut the check. Yeah, King gonna cut the check over here.
Yeah, shameless plug.
Right? True. But of course, today we'll be talking about the Netflix movie Extraction,
Which is really good.
Extraction.
It was directed by Sam Hargrave. This is his first featured debut.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
And it was written by Joe Russo.
Okay.
And for those who don't know who he is one half of the Russo brothers who directed Captain America: Winter Soldier, Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Okay.
And the movie is also based off the graphic novel called Q-Dad.
Q-Dad.
I think how you pronounce it. it's a real name.
Okay.
But it's created by the Russo brothers and Andre Parks and 2 other guys.
Okay.
You know. And the movie stars Chris Hemsworth, if for those who don't know.
AKA Thor.
Yes.
Yeah, Thor. Yeah, my man Thor.
Devin was like, yeah, you know the new Thor movie. What new Thor movie? Yeah, you know, on Netflix. That's okay. Gotcha.
Social media America, y'all already know how it is. Y'all already know how it is. Until he might be Extraction now, because this movie was good.
Well, you know, it says that he was part of the producing family too.
But it's Thor.
That's cool.
They can do all the technical names. I rep the group home.
And it also stars David Harbour. For those who don't know.
That's Hopper.
That's Hopper.
Hopper from, if you are a Stranger Things fan, then you know who Detective or Deputy Hopper is. So it was nice to see him.
Real nice.
And many other Indian actors. I wasn't gonna
Jack up their names.
Yes.
That's fair.
Boy,
Because
he
it's
ain't make it to all the hook on phonics
You
stages.
know, I only have a lawful education.
Yeah,
education.
that Norfolk Public School, baby.
Boy.
Boy, can you read? No. Can you write? No. Can you add? No. Can you walk in a straight line, shake somebody's hand so you can get the hell up out of here?
Yes.
I can't do that.
Gotcha.
Praise God.
You're so stupid.
You graduated.
Can you write, read, or do arithmetic? And it's all, the answers is no.
But
The
can you
system
walk
has
in a
failed.
straight line and shake somebody's hand and get a piece of paper.
It's
Yeah, I can do
optional.
that. Yeah, a straight line, right? That's like this, right? No, that's zip. Well, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. As long as you get the hell up out of here, we can do that. You can walk, you can skip, you can crawl, you can moonwalk. Yeah, you can do the percolator. You know?
The percolator? No, wait.
Yeah. You know?
What?
As long as you tootsie roll your ass about this damn school.
I can't.
No telling behind.
I can't. Awful.
But some of your people should have been left behind.
Hey, listen, man. We were just talking about that. Yeah, no child left behind, but don't just shove them forward. These things,
It's close enough. Yeah. Just carry yourself.
don't leave them behind. Just leave them there. It's like,
Leave them there.
yeah, wherever there is at, just leave them there.
Let them work it out amongst
Yeah,
themselves.
man. You know, like some of y'all done got. Boy,
It's tough out here sometimes.
it is.
Yeah. But I guess before we get started,
Oh, yes.
the ritual, you know.
Salud.
This fire water is brought to you by.
Jack Daniels. Cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah, I just went and got me a bottle of that Jack, you know.
Isn't it nice?
Yes.
You know, it's smooth. It's got a little bit, just a teeniest bit of cinnamon. It's very nice.
And for what? Less than a dub?
Yeah, depending on the size, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's good for all seasons, winter and summer and all in between.
it's good for anti-coronavirus.
Suspiciously so.
Bottle a day.
A bottle a day? Good luck. They ain't gonna see too many days.
And when you go to the ABC store, tell your big cousin shit.
Don't tell them that.
Hey, Jack.
Don't do that.
Hey, cut the check, Jack.
Jack. We don't cut out that part. When you told people drink a bottle a day, they'll be through. It's like, I don't know, my doctor said it was fine.
Y'all at home too right now?
Them nuts did not condone
There you go.
over excessive drinking.
Put that disclaimer out real quick.
Drink responsibly. Yeah, drink responsibly.
Responsibly.
But drink, damn it. You know, it's like that. Drink.
If nothing else, drink.
You ain't got nothing else to do. Yeah.
Some folks going back to work, sir.
That's
They need to
right,
get up in the morning.
Drink when you get off, you know.
There you go.
Just down the whole bottle as soon as you walk
The
in the
whole
house. Straight like that.
They gonna wake up like,
You know, straight like that.
No chaser.
You ain't gonna have time. Because if you take this straight to the head,
You gonna
first
wake
of all,
up when it's time to
you're
go to
not
work.
human. That's the first thing. If you drink this whole thing, it ain't the biggest bottle, but if you can drink this whole thing in one, like, I'll give you 2 minutes. You drink that whole thing in 2 minutes, you are not a human being.
No.
You are a demon. You are a
Officially.
devil. You are Lucifer reincarnated. You are
Go to
something.
church, see your priest right now.
Boy, the church gonna burn down as soon as you look at it. It's like you gonna pull up into the parking lot. You gonna turn around. It's just gonna be flames. You got, damn,
How did this
I
happen?
didn't even get to walk inside.
This is the third one this week.
You know, just church is just burning every time you drive past. Poof, poof. And especially in black neighborhoods.
Looking like effects in like a show, just like poof.
That's how it affect. Nah, that ain't no effect.
That's the flame.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and look, now you getting personal. Now you getting personal because you know some of these churches in the hoods, it's just old houses, right?
Oh,
They just threw a cross in the front.
Hey,
That's all they did.
they're crossing the sign. That's all they
Found
need.
some rocks and threw them on the grass and called it a gravel parking lot.
I can't.
And told them to come on in. You know, y'all know y'all wrong too. Lord have mercy.
Fix it, Jesus.
But
Good God Almighty.
But to summarize the movie, the film follows Tyler, who played by Hemsworth,
Thor,
gang gang.
who is a black ops missionary who is hired to rescue.
What? Did you miss your mouth?
No, when he said black, it was a small part of it. I'm about to bet James, he ain't black.
We ain't watched the same movie, bruh.
Hey, I'm about to say, hold on, you got the right note? That damn Hey, what notes you read, James? No, you on Friday after next. We on that shit. He won't black.
The black ops.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right, my bad. My
Black ops.
My bad. Yeah, drink responsibly.
Yeah.
All right.
And with that said,
Yeah, he's a black ops who is hired to rescue an Indian drug lord's kidnapped son, who was kidnapped by a rival drug lord, whatnot. And the mission comes like a suicide mission, so to say, when the contact decides not to pay, decides not to pay them, right, due to feeling like it will undermine his boss's his reputation. You know, so he decides to take out the black ops guys by himself and retrieve the son after they do all the heavy work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so we do learn that Tyler he does seek death due to his heavy guilt and pain of losing his own son.
I'm sorry. It's not true. It's my machine going off. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, hopefully the mic
Audio doesn't pick it up. That's what I'm worried
At
about.
least I know we clean.
Okay.
You know? and my drawers is fresh. You know?
Oh my God, the machine going off. So you were saying, yeah. So they didn't want to pay the money, right?
See this
So we do learn that Tyler is looking for a way to die due to the guilt of losing his 6-year-old son while he was touring in Iraq, I believe he said.
Yeah.
And I get how he said how his son dies.
I thought he got swept away, like by the beach water. Was that not what happened?
No, it was a sickness of some sort.
Yes, he had leukemia.
He had leukemia.
That's what it was. Okay.
You
The movie's starting to blur together.
know, so like this is also like the reason why he accepts I guess you say crazy jobs.
Yeah, high risk.
You know, high risk jobs and whatnot, and because he's looking for that easy way out. You know, like when the kid, I forget his name too.
Ovi.
Yeah, Obi, calls him brave. He mentions that I'm not brave. I'm actually the opposite. You know,
Full of fear.
because he's not so being brave for combat, but he's not brave enough to live with this guilt.
Right.
You know. But he later seeks out the aid of Obi's protector, And they
Saju.
Yeah, Saju.
Saju had a long 2 days, boy. Saju had it rough, boy.
Yes. You know, so Saju and Tyler teams up to escort Obi across the bridge, and it's
Secure his safety.
it's
It's a rough
It's
day.
a rough ride.
It's a really.
It is a rough ride across that bridge, boy.
If you are a sensitive person and you don't do well with violence, this is definitely not your movie.
Yes.
Almighty, boy.
But Obi does manages to get picked up by Tyler's team and is returned to his father, even though Saji is shot and killed, and Tyler is presumed
dead.
You know, but there's a scene at the end where it kind of hints at him being alive. You know, so that pretty much the plot or what happens in the movie. How do y'all felt about the movie itself?
So it was surprisingly violent. I mean, I know it was an action film, but like the scene at the club. So Ovi is the son of the drug lord. He's Ovi Jr. And, you know, he's just your average 14-year-old, like, you know, liking girls, wanting to hang out with his friends, you know, starting to find his element as a young man. So they go to clubs. I'm not sure what the rules are with clubs in India, if it's just because he's, you know, kind of high society that he was at that club, if they had fake IDs, nevertheless. But the scene where they're, like, back there and he gets kidnapped and his friend just gets shot in the head, like, just a teenage boy. I'm a mother of a teenager, so it's just like, I was like, whoa, okay. And then that was, what, maybe 20 minutes into the film, if that? And so it definitely just continued to get violent from there. But there is a level of realism that I know that, like, especially in that part of India, which is Mumbai, it's kind of like the hoodest part of India, maybe next to, like, Sri Lanka or something like that. And I mean, they've got the kids learning early how to hustle. So you see, like, an example of, you know, kid trying to appeal to the opposing drug lord, you know, and run different errands. I mean, it gets crazy. Like the scene where the dude throws the little kid over the roof.
That was funny.
I mean, it's funny to see, but it's also like, dang, that's ruthless. It's just so, needless to say, as a mom, like, I clutch my pearls a lot with a lot of the kid violence, because you got one kid, he cuts off his finger. Another kid gets shot in point blank in the head. Another kid just senselessly gets tossed over, you know, a roof. And that's not even to the main plot of a lot of what's going on. Then, you know, we do reference Saju. So Saju is like the right-hand man to Ovi's dad. And though he sets up the contract for Tyler's team or Thor's team to get him, he kind of undermines that by, like, okay, we all get to him, and then I'll get him, because we ain't really got the money to pay you, between the fact that he's in jail, money is frozen, and also trying to protect reputation and stuff like that. But he has a long day. Like, I feel bad for Saju because he gets shot at, beat up, hit by a truck, going through all of this mess, barely, you know, he don't get to see his woman again. Like, it's rough out here. But my general synopsis of the movie, I thought it was interesting. It definitely was a darker tone than what I'm used to seeing Chris Hemsworth. I really only know him as Thor, and though Thor is, you know, an action-y kind of guy, he usually has this light sense of humor, and to see him where it's like there's not a whole lot of humorous points. I feel like it's pretty steady with the serious tone that he has. Is like, you know, I don't care about life. I'm just doing the mission for the money, but really just to get that taste a little bit closer to death. And you see that kind of charge him through, but he does still have a soft spot for the children, because at the end of the day, that's where his guilt is rooted in, is the loss of his son and not being present, because, you know, he prioritized the job. Now all he has left is a job because his son passed away, but, you know, it doesn't change your love for it. So I can appreciate that. And even being able, you know, as Avi's character, to kind of go from who's the strange white man and why is everybody getting killed around me, or at least violently injured, to like, this is my safe haven, you know, being with him and learning a level of bravery and even a way of kind of level up where you stand as a young man. So that part I thought was pretty cool. And even to think, you know, as the movie alluded, that, you know, he might still be in his life in some secretive way. I thought it was a cool little wrap up. So, I mean, very action packed. I thought it was kind of visually beautiful. And definitely a completely different character from Thor for Chris Hemsworth, and beautiful representation of like probably the kind of ghetto parts of India, and I can appreciate that aspect of the culture. Lots of Indian actors, which is awesome.
Yes.
Let's keep it culturally relevant. So, yeah.
How about you, Devin? What you thought about the movie?
I thought the movie was exceptionally well.
Spell it.
First off, shout out, huh? Your mama. First off, shout out to Thor for giving us another character besides Thor with this character Tyler Rake.
Yeah, Tyler Rake.
A very
Weird name.
generic of generic white boy names. My man's name is Tyler Rake.
Yep.
And a name like Tyler Rake sounds like, you corrected your glasses a lot, in class. You probably got stuffed in a locker or two. The highlight of your day was probably watching Dexter's Laboratory. Eating cheese whiz straight out the can.
Wow, it's quite a day.
And your favorite thing that your mama made was probably string bean casserole.
Wait.
Yeah, just white as
So we eating cheese out the can and green bean casserole. Cool.
But Tyler Rake is a grade A ass whooper.
That part.
He whooped ass from the time he stepped foot in India to the time he didn't. And it was awesome. So the plot, right? If we get to the plot, I feel like the plot takes a lot of different turns. Mm-hmm. Right? It's a very diverse plot. It's simple, right? It's a simple superhero plot, right? Mm-hmm. We got a hero. We got a dark hero for the most part, looking for redemption in any way he sees fit. I also see the plot of the uncanny father and the unlikely son.
Okay.
Right? Because Ovi, original daddy, is the Al Capone of India, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that they actually use that phrasing or something like that.
So, and then he got his beef with the John Gotti of India. So it's a gang war. All right. So as the drug lord's son, and the drug lord is in prison, and the drug lord goes hard. I appreciate the drug lord's acting, because when he told my man Suja, he was like, "Look, you don't think I can't get you touched just because I'm behind these bars?" When Ovi went missing, that was dope. And how he told my man, "Look, if you want your son to see another day, you might want to get mine back." Yeah. I thought that was dope. But that's Father A, right? Mm-hmm. The drug dealer father, who is, who's lived a life of crime, but wants to keep his son protected. Got Father B, which is Suja, right? Which is the one who's supposed to make everything seem kind of normal, right? He's the guardian. He's supposed to make sure he goes to school and all this other great stuff, yada, yada. Then you have Thor, which is Tyler Rake.
Thor.
Generic white boy name. Who is the actual father that actually kind of brings everything together. I like through the journey how it went from just being an odd job that was supposed to be for money and to die, and it turned out to be, I love the relationship building between the two characters. Ovi had this one point in the movie where he was like, "Oh, you see me like my father does."
Yeah, just
pretty
a
much,
thing.
just as another object. You know what I mean? And then Tyler Rake, generic white boy.
Said you loving that name, Dad?
I'm loving it. He was like, "No, it's not like that." After he showed that it wasn't like that. Because let's explain something. Like everybody explained before, Tyler Rake had a job to do, and his job was to go and get Ovi and bring him back out, and they had a team set up. So Suja, which is post Suja, his thing was, I got to get this boy back, right? The thing is, Suja was what we like to call in the group home broke as hell. So what he did, he put a little something on it, right?
Right, the initial thing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in good faith.
Yeah.
He put the down payment. He put his stimulus check down,
You stupid.
but he ain't had nothing else
Yep.
to really pay it back. So he was like, so we gonna pull what we like to call from my era the okie doke, right?
That part.
So he was like, so y'all gonna do all the heavy lifting. He literally said it, and then Suja is a badass because Suja is special ops his damn self.
Saju,
yeah, Saju, Suja, whatever your name is. Post Saju, but Saju.
Saju.
Mm-hmm. So Saju takes everybody out. Once Nick, which was the girl, right, that brought everything together, like, hired and, all this other,
Who's beautiful.
informed Tyler Rake
Here we go.
that there wasn't any more money. That was supposed to be the end of the objective.
All right, leave Ovi behind.
And that was exactly his orders. Leave the boy behind. Give him his bucket and tell him to take his 2 tiers and,
Yes, and finish the rest.
you finish the rest. So, but that compassion. Because as the relationship between Ovi and Tyler Rake developed, you see that, okay, I left one child behind. I'm not going to do it again. So it's a beautiful story of the uncanny father. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, honestly, the way that they outline the story, this is his second chance, for getting close to somebody and saving their life. So I love that underline behind it. But I loved how fathering had an undertone in the whole movie. Just like the Indian John Gotti, the smooth one. He kind of had a father role too, because after they tried to see my man, he was like, "Hey, let's see. You ever heard I Believe I Can Fly? Let's see if you can do it."
You stupid.
And
It's not what happened.
And once my man, found out that
Can't fly.
what goes up must come down. You know what I mean?
Hard.
Leave that hard.
And you had the clever kid. I can't think of his name in the
I can't
character,
think
but
of it
I call him
either.
Finger. So Finger, because he ended up cutting off one of his fingers. So Finger was like, he showed his wit because they had the kids on the rooftop because they were trying to figure out who stole the man's money. And so Finger was like, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all who stole the money. It was the dude you just threw off the roof.
I thought that was very clever.
It was hella clever because it makes them look stupid. Because now, what you gonna do?
You can't get money from a dead
You
man.
can't get money from a dead man. Old man once told me, dead man tells no tales.
That part.
So then now you got John Gotti over there, who was like, okay, you clever.
I like it.
Well, since I can't get my money back, cut off 2 fingers. I prefer that you cut them off from the left hand.
Yeah.
I would suggest you that's a little bit tidbit.
You still use
So
a
now
gun in a
Finger is trying to prove that he's a badass, right? So now Finger, for his cleverness, they give John Gotti gives Finger a gun. Gives him a little crew, and they actually run across Thor, and Thor slaps him like the bitch he is. I'm sorry. He slapped that man to and fro, and I mean literally slapped. Open hand. And that man felt the gristle from his palm across his face.
The gristle,
Yeah, it's like he felt the lifeline, the future line, the past line, and all the other creases that's in the palm that your palm reader could read.
I can't.
He felt every last one of them. You could see his skin slip between the fingers as he got that good grip to turn that man face sideways. I was telling Christina as we were watching the movie, that part wasn't in the script. Cause my man had to slap him like that.
Don't piss off.
Oh boy. My man said, let me teach you a thing. Let me learn
you a little
lesson
something, yeah.
real quick. Sit down. Let me rap a taste to you. So now Finger gets upset because he got slapped around like a little bitch, and now he cuts his finger off and was like, and goes to John Gotti and was like, look, when you catch him, let me finish him off because he made me feel a little insignificant. Fathering moment happens again. John Gotti's like, let me give you a little bit of advice. You a kid. You know what I mean? You a kid. It's like, what do you expect? He was like, and no matter how badass you are,
There's always a bigger
there's
bad.
always a bigger badass out there. And that was a hell of a teaching moment right there. So there again, another uncanny father.
That's true.
Then you had Suju. You know, poor
Saju.
Poor Saju.
Saju had a tough.
Poor Saju. Because
48
Saju
hours.
showed how bad he was until he got hit with 3/4 of a tractor trailer. My man body flew like somebody hit the ejection seat
That part.
on his soul. Because it's like if you slow it down real good, you can see his soul jump out the body and then they have to catch up a couple frames later. You got to watch it real slow. I'm telling you, go, trust me, you see it. And if you don't, you're blind. But it's like, but he goes through all that. He got the bandage up on. He got his nose twisted crooked. He got to snap that joker back into place.
Woo.
But he's all doing this to get back somebody else's son to save his own son. And that was a very touching moment when he did get to talk to his son.
Yeah, that last
In
time.
the movie, that one last son. You know, and how his wife was a rioter because
She was.
she was like, whatever you got to do,
Do it.
do it. And so there's a lot of fatherly undertones in this whole movie, and I thought it was dope. I really thought it was really dope. One thing I didn't think was dope, how they turned my man Papa Hawk into the bad guy in the movie. You know, that he played his character.
He did.
Because he played the friendly role to the T, and he hit the Tekashi 6ix9ine. He was like, we're gonna snitch. You know.
Yeah, they gonna pay us to turn him in or kill him.
And
Best
then
thing we could do.
everything is good, But my man Tyler Rake,
The name that Dev loves so much.
I was like, nah, I ain't going out like that player. And then that's when little Ovi gets his first taste at killing, which led to another great fathering moment. As Thor comforted this kid, and you saw that Tyler Rake had that moment where it was like he didn't know what to do with his hands, but he comforted the kid. Another fathering moment. It's and then Suja gave it all up on that bridge. Literally gave it all up to try to get Ovi across the bridge. Then, of course, you got Tyler Rake, who presumably gave it all up too. Fought tooth and nail to get my man. Took a bullet from the crooked colonel.
Oh yeah.
And then Nick came through, was like, hold on, let me show you how this is really done.
Pop.
And then came through and hit him. If this was like Call of Duty from like way across the screen. The man was camped out. She paid him way across the screen. That's how you snipe. And he had a rifle that was designed for sniping. She had her automatic weapon. I digress. Then Finger comes up and shoots my man Tyler Rake in the throat. And Nick gets a couple shots, sends him scurrying on. I felt like that was the beginning of showing that there was going to be a sequel. And because because now we have a new personal vendetta in the movie. Because Finger wants to get his revenge for them bitch slaps that he got. And I ain't gonna lie, it's like if Tyler Rake would have slapped me like he did in the movie, soon as they would have said cut, that little boxing bell would have rung in my head, and it'd have been time to throw some serious hands. You ain't had to slap me like that.
When Chris Hemsworth though?
Cause I saw you can see the fingerprints marks on his face the rest of the movie. My man had it. He had the 5 fingers of death all across his face the whole movie.
He's so stupid.
So, but there again, Tyler Rake. Gotta say it like that so y'all get it. He showed what it really means. Like when you say that you're a father and that you'll put it all on the line. He literally put it all on the line. And it was and it goes to show that maybe this wasn't the point of the film, but this is what I took away from it. It's like you don't have to be mine to be mine. You know what I mean? Because it's like you only knew this boy for off the couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? And it went from that to really wanting to see this kid make it out. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I felt like that was so
Real.
it was so real, it was so dope. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like, just make sure that he gets okay. I don't care if I die in this crusty infested. Like, if that's a real place in India, that's worse than the group home.
Oh yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, it's worse than the group home.
That is legit.
And it's like, it made the group home look like a 5-star resort. I was like, yeah. But to know, that was what really caught me about the movie. It is like, of course, the action was there. It was like, once you, as a spectator and like watching more films, and after like kind of like giving reviews and stuff like that, you start to pick up on things that you like more, right? So I like how they hid the initial plot. Oh, no, excuse me. How they hid the first gem that would give us a peek into Tyler Rake and why he does what he does. I like how it was like, another touching scene in the movie was when he jumped into the water and sat at the bottom and had that reflective moment, because that was the first time he had the flashes of the child on the beach. And you could see emotion. That was acting right there. You could see the emotions on his face underwater. And it's almost like, as a spectator, I could see him crying underwater. And I felt like that was dope. I was like, as somebody who usually just watches movies to see how stupid white people are going to be and how unrealistic they're going to be in movies and stuff like that, or to see how funny or how unfunny a moment is and how I can make it funny, that was moving, because that showed the emotions. And I feel like that also shows that the natural knack of the warrior, of the man, of the father, where it's like, you don't want to show that things have gotten to you, but it has to come out somewhere.
That's true.
And it's like, and obviously, his trauma, his pain comes out through these missions, through these suicide missions, and which is ironic, right? Because it's like, if you just want to be done with it, just commit suicide. But that thing that keeps us engaged in the life, I digress. But I love the build up to it, because it was a big mystery. Even when Nick came in, you could see that Nick was concerned, but you don't know
why.
And it's like, and when it hits, it's like, and it was perfect timing when it hit. You know what I mean? It was perfect timing for the story, for the plot. I feel like everything unraveled at the right times. I feel like, for the most part, there wasn't any pointless parts of the movie. For the most part. I do like the touch of ruthlessness. I like how they shot the young boy in the middle of the head to show that, hey, this ain't America, Jack. You know what I mean? It was like, we play by different rules. And shout out to that ugly ass man. They got to play the man that threw the boy off the roof, because he was born to act as a thug. That's the only role he'll ever get in life. Is probably, he might get Thug 1 eventually, but Thug 3 for sure. You know what I mean? With the tough ass, floop and swoop, hairstyle. It's because that rawness brought like the reality of where they are and what they're hungry for. But I feel like the underlying notions of the movie go to show that everybody needs somebody to look up to and to look after them. Because there again, we had Saju, John Gotti, Al Capone, and Tyler Rake. And I feel like they all, there again, that's what really got me about the movie, because it's like everybody's trying to be a dad. One's trying to be a dad from behind bars. And even though the tactics are ruthless, it's like, you tell me what you would do in a situation like that. Your son is missing. You entrusted somebody. Even though, Ovi shouldn't have snuck out at night, but it's like, you got to know what you're dealing with. So it's like, and then you also have to understand what life we live. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, you need to get my boy back. You know what I mean? One time for the one time. You know what I mean? And but then there go Saju is like, I want my son to grow up and live a good life.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to live.
Yeah.
And more than anything, you know. So it's like, so what you gonna do? You're gonna do whatever it takes to get this boy back. And you know you just can't go run into, you know what I'm saying, the east side of things when you're from the west side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you just running their gun blazing. It's like, no. But my man took out a whole special ops.
Yeah, he got jiggy.
By his damn self.
Yeah.
I mean, effectively and efficiently.
Because he knew where they were going to be at.
Yeah, and that's true. He had to drop on him. So.
But still, I mean, as one man, to finesse a whole team that's supposed to specialize in this, that was pretty.
Yeah, specialize in like warfare and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like, but, and then there again, other fathering moment. And shout out to my girl, Nick. Mm-hmm. That put put the whole clip in the man in the bathroom. That was a beautiful touch, man. Nick came in there with a nice little dress on, and I loved her face.
She's beautiful.
But I loved her. She had this like, it was almost like the most emotional filled resting bitch face I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. Because for the most part, she looked like she just has one expression, but it changes. But it's still the same face, if that makes sense. I thought that was very touching. It's like, I like how she shot my man up. She was like, because it shows that she has a connection to my man Tyler Rake, which is a dope thing. And all in all, just a great movie. Visually, I think it was awesome. You know, it caught the real essence of the gutter. Showed the essence of. I can't even call that the ghettos. That's the slums. They was in the slums.
That's where Slumdog Millionaire comes from.
Yeah, facts, and it held true to the name. I love the natural struggle that I love the use of the scenery and everything else like that. I also love the fact that, and this is me. I love the fact that you got a white American growing feelings for an Indian kid.
Well, he's Australian.
But in the movie, he was Indian, right?
No.
Tyler is Australian.
He's Australian.
Okay, I get that. But okay, we'll just say an American hero. Or American soldier. Because we'll just, whatever.
I get what you're saying. White man. There you go.
We'll go with that. We'll go with this super duper white man, this soldier white man, saving and actually growing a love connection for this Indian kid. It's like, that's dope. Even to the point where it's like, yo, you killed all my homies, but I want to see this kid live. It's like, I know baby mamas that can't put their differences aside. You know, you moved on, you got a new, so you can't see your child. This man made a deal with the man that killed his friends. Yeah. Because he wanted to see that boy live. It's like, how much more love can you get? You know what I mean?
That's true.
So, all in all, great movie to me.
Like, well, one thing that I actually enjoyed about the movie, like, I like how well paced it was. Like, it wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow. I feel like it was just it was a nice pace that kept the story and the action driving at the same time. You know, like it knew when to slow down to give you bits about the characters and the story, and then it picks right back up. Yeah, you know, like
short breathers for sure.
Yeah, you know, like when I guess like from one point when we in the alleyway and we went across fingers. Yeah, and, you know, he stops them and it leads into them being picked up by David Harper's character, and you know they have their heart of hearts, and he's telling Obi about his son and about his motivations and whatnot. Then all of a sudden it switches, like it picks right back up into David Harper's character telling them that kill a boy.
Right,
you know,
straight like that.
And you know, and we can make one
make some money,
money off of it,
and live.
whatnot,
That's important.
So I just love how they pace the movie, from whether it's from the writing, the directing, this movie to me never felt boring.
No, it didn't. It didn't. The most boring you probably got was like the beginning. When when him and his comrades were drinking beers.
Comrades. When they're just laid out.
Yeah. From that part to when Nick first showed up to the doorstep to pick him up and told him, like, if you ain't sober, don't show up. But as soon as he touched ground.
Yeah, it was just boom, boom, boom from there.
And also, like, I love how. I love the writing. I feel like the writing was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
well, from the dialogue to controlling the pacing to the plot. Even though the plot is a little cliche and simple, but I feel like it does work.
Oh yeah.
In this story, and I just like I love how they, even though it is an action movie, that they did incorporate and tackled the growth and emotional points of the characters.
And honestly, very well.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
The time limit that they had, that they did it in.
Yeah, I used to not be a fan of action film because of that.
Yeah, because it's just usually just how much can we blow up.
And then it's like, I'm just mad because I am. And it's just like, oh, I'm a badass because I am. And it's like, well.
Yeah. So I really feel like that's a good look for what's Thor's name?
Chris Hemsworth.
That guy. I feel like it's a good look for him as an actor. Period.
Certainly.
Because it's like it shows the diversity. It shows the intimate connection that he can have with the character. And I feel like that is something that is lost a lot of times in acting.
Yeah.
It's like, if we design a character and you audition for it, can you attach yourself to it and be more than what you look like for the role?
Yeah.
Right.
Just like that. As you were saying, Tina, like I often don't like action movies because it's just straight up action. I.e. Michael Bay movies.
Ooh, shade. The shade
For the
of
record,
it
Big
all.
Damn Comedy doesn't condone any down talking to the man that brought Optimus Prime to life for your boy.
Like just like a lot of action movies, they focus too heavily on the action.
On the action, yeah.
Explosions, it's entertaining, but in this movie, I feel like they tackled the entertainment and the personal connections and human elements, all at one time. I feel like it was real balanced. It wasn't too much character development where it took away from the action.
Right.
It wasn't just we just gonna shoot it up and blow things up and make it a big a big thing out of it. And just forget everything. The whole story. We just gonna
Just make it boom.
go boom.
Yeah.
But I think that also contests to the ability to make something relatable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the important thing about like when you develop a character, but not to overly go into it, because it's like a movie is almost like a conversation, and it's like in that conversation, it's like you have to explain who you are, but not go too far into detail, because you still want to leave something. We still got to learn.
Yeah, we still got to develop.
But you want to disclose enough and enough to expose like why you are who you are.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely paced that out well. You can relate to Sadra, you can relate to Tyler, you can relate to even Ovi. It's like you're stunned that all this is going on. I know I certainly related to Ovi. It's like, whoa, I was just at school yesterday. Like my life has changed dramatically in the last 24 hours.
For the record, I think he really pissed on himself.
When he got kidnapped.
Man, I think they put that as like, hey, we got to make this feel as real as possible. So you're gonna just throw this bag over your head and just wherever you end up at.
Whatever booms you hear in the background, just go with it.
And now people they gonna be effing with you a little bit now. They might slap you. Some might try to bite your nipples.
What?
Hey, I'm just telling you.
Like, hey,
Whatever
I
it takes.
was cookie slapped.
You didn't know what I'm saying?
Let's just rewind this back a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of the moments you keep like, hold up now, what about the biting of the nipples? Now look, right, you're gonna be in this room. But the biting of the nipples, that was so 4 seconds ago, bro. Pay attention,
Focus
Obi.
here.
Pay attention. And so he was like, oh, are they really gonna bite my nipples? That's how you gotta get that real reaction.
They do that. You know, they do that to actors. Like, they might, like, keep them in a trailer until right before a scene or, you know, all kinds of, like, psychological things to kind of get them in the mode.
You lie to them a little bit.
Yeah, because you want that natural and raw
Reaction. Mm-hmm.
Like, fun fact. Oh,
What's it?
go
Go ahead.
I want to hear
Fun
that.
fact. In Die Hard, when you boy fall from the building, main bad guy, I forget his name.
Don't tell me that was a real fall.
It was supposed to fall.
Oh, wow.
Well, wasn't not from that high, but they were supposed to drop him on 3.
Oh.
They didn't drop him on 3.
All right, on 3.
3.
So his expression falling
Is legit, like, terrifying.
Now, for the record, for anybody that's gonna hire your boy Beat, they have to do any acting.
If you say on 3.
Hey, look, right, if you say on 3 and you cut that cord on 0.5, you're gonna get a surprise reaction, all right. Because you might give me, N-word, you said 3.
I could totally see that, too. It's like, we can't use it.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell.
Now you gonna snitch as you fall.
No. Keep that in the movie. That was real. That was real. He probably gonna cry when he land a little bit too. He always happen with me, man.
Oh my God.
I'm up here trying to get my act on, and he's trying to give me a heart attack.
Get your man.
Someone send some extra green Skittles. You know?
There you go. Then it's all good. Then it's all good.
And some new draws.
Got that waiting for you.
Release from the front and the back.
Oh, good.
But I also love the way they shot the movie. You know, especially the action scenes. Like,
Yes.
like the cinematography was on point.
Yeah, it was quite fluid and beautiful.
And it made you feel like you were there because, like, with the shaking of the camera and stuff, it looked like you were, like, really taking the steps.
Even just how they, like, pan, where you really feel like you're running with them, you're darting, you're trying to keep your eyes open. Like, I said shout out to the cameraman, probably, like,
He was
scene
probably
5.
tired. He was probably tired.
He's like, y'all running, y'all said you're gonna run, God.
Like, not knowing how they did it, but you know, like
It's intense.
like how a lot of the action scenes seem like one take.
Yeah.
Like one whole
very
sequence.
fluid.
Yeah, beautiful.
I love that, you know, because like even with the like nowadays we see action scenes, especially fight scenes. It's always choppy. You know, like it's hard to follow. You know, it's cut.
You can tell it's choreographed.
Oh yeah, or they cut it so much to take away from how choreographed it is, or the fact that it's stuntmen. You're just like, oh, I need to see the face getting the hit, but really they're not even in the scene. You know.
Yeah, you know. Like,
I felt Soji when he got hit by that truck.
That truck, he flew.
Cause like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they did use a lot of stuntmen for this movie, but
Oh, they had
you can't tell.
You really can't, yeah.
Because like it doesn't cut a lot, you know.
No.
It seems like it's one whole take, you know. Like the way they shot the action scenes,
Yeah, it was top notch. Yeah.
I was really impressed with the hand-to-hand combat fight between Tyler Rake and Soji or Suja, whatever.
Saju.
Saju. Because it really looked like
They was putting in work.
it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was just like that. You know what I mean? It just really was like that. And I like the fact that I was like, okay, Tyler's gonna get hit, but you're gonna get harder. You know, my man, and because I felt the pettiness in that moment. I know Tyler was like, I just got hit by a car. You know what?
I got something for you.
I'm gonna go find half a school bus. just so I can ram it in.
My God, that was some fierce stuff. And they just got up like, yep, it's just a vehicle. Just small vehicular manslaughter, not a big deal. Walk it off. Walk it off.
That was really good. Oh, the rat swimming in the sewer.
Bruh. You could smell the sewer through that scene.
Oh
like
my
you
God.
He was like, it smells awful. You're like, I can smell it. But you can't smell it, but you felt like you could smell it.
I was like,
Just
that
the
was dope.
full bottles just floating in the water, the rats crawling over the bottles, and you're just
I
like,
was like, that was dope.
that's real raw for you.
That was dope.
It was something.
It was something.
It was something.
It was dope.
And also the acting was also pretty good too.
All
Chris
of them.
Hemsworth, he gets. Oh yeah, Ov was extremely convincing. His dad was like, I believe that these people, even like you said, the kind of gross looking thug. Like, I was like, I wouldn't want to sit next to him anywhere, anywhere at all.
Nowhere.
And he's
Church.
probably the nicest man, off scene. But
Hey there, Devin. Hey, I got these cookies, man. You want some? You just threw a kid off a building.
you savage beast.
You mongrel. It's like
No, he's okay. He's
you
okay.
uncultured swine.
You saw him land on the mat. No, I didn't. I don't believe you.
Going up to the kid. Are you okay? You okay? I can whoop his ass. You just say the word. His ass is whooped.
But like I said before, like even Chris Hemsworth, like I kind of went in expecting just Thor with a haircut, and I definitely got a completely different character, like completely. And I'm very like I don't know him personally, but as a consumer, as a viewer, I'm like I'm proud to see that. Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. Thor actually wears a wig.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know that long hair ain't his, but still.
Oh, you mean the luxurious locks, right?
Yeah, he got the
It-
lace
it-
front on deck.
Yeah, he had the lace.
See, Tyler, that's how you make a wig.
Ooh, shade.
Mr. Perry.
Ooh, it sure gets dark around here.
I want a gig. I want a job. The wigs is fine because you can see this right here can rock anything, baby.
You want to put on a wig,
Hey,
sure?
hey, I get that Unbreakable, Mr. Glass, Freddie D,
Cock to the
sideways, cotway pop. Got it, man. Hero, villain, whatever you need me to, bus driver,
Bus driver.
whatever you need me to be.
See, I feel like a lot of folks, not a lot of folks, but it's easy to turn a guy into an action movie star, as long as you look the
You look the
part.
part.
Yeah.
Like you can whoop some ass.
But like, to look the part and actually have some acting talent behind you is totally different. Like I feel like unfortunately we don't see a lot of movies with Chris Hemsworth that's all successful. I know Black Hat wasn't all that good.
Sorry, what?
He has a movie called Black Hat.
Huh. I was thinking, I'm like, what other films has he done other than Thor and Avengers and stuff?
He was in Men in Black, which didn't do so
Oh,
well.
right, and he was in
In
Ghostbusters. He was hilarious in Ghostbusters.
Yes, I feel like he's
And the Moby Dick movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's coming together now. Just
Yeah.
Thor just sticks out more, but I got you.
It does. Cause like the other ones hasn't been as successful. I feel like this is the next biggest successful movie he has since Thor. And I feel like it also shows. Look from Thor and the other movies. In this movie, like it shows his range.
Yeah, definitely.
He can be goofy, like in Ghostbusters and Men in Black. Without being too over the top.
Yeah, he was definitely over the top in Ghostbusters.
And then being serious, like in this.
He was very serious. He was like your, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. He made me think of, what's Jason Bourne's real name? Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon's like transition. Matt Damon. Like how he's, embodied Jason Bourne and then some of his other characters, or Mark Wahlberg, who's really, well, he's still kind of funny, but jumps into a lot of action characters. Even a Jason Statham, who he owns it, he might not be the most emotionally present, but he owns that action. I really felt like if I had never seen Thor, I'd be like, man, this dude is really in it, completely. That's dope. Go ahead. No humor needed. You don't even have to be the prettiest thing in the room. You could just be Tyler Rake.
Tyler Rake.
The disdain's all in your voice.
It is. Boy, that's like such a generic white boy name.
Yeah, I feel like they could have given him a better name for him.
Boy, yeah, he wear Airwalks. It's like you be.
What?
He wear Airwalks.
You just know from based off the name.
Yeah, like he wear Skechers. You know. You know. You know. Just you got Magic the Gathering cards.
Magic the
You
Gathering.
know, Tyler Rake. You know. Man.
Yeah, but like some things that I didn't like about the movie, I mentioned before, I did felt the plot was kind of cliche. You know, the whole missionary, kidnapped child, go and rescue.
The grand hater himself.
You know.
The grand hater himself. Simple is successful.
I mean, yes. I mean, I don't think nothing wrong with simple. I mean, I always think the best ideas is simple. You know, it's just how you tell it. But
Yeah, because you simple.
like
Wow. That happened.
And you think you come up with good ideas, right?
Sheesh. You said you want him to work with
I
you?
mean, your best acting role came with my ideas. So.
Ooh.
I mean, just because you simple don't mean that I gotta be simple. I'm just relatable.
That part.
Relatable, simple.
Simply relatable.
Simply relatable. Hashtag.
That's gonna be a new hashtag.
Simply relatable.
Anytime I'm gonna start tagging you the simple hashtag. That's gonna be it, boy. I'm like, why does he always put simply? I'm just gonna pop up on a post that you posted. Just put simply relatable. It's gonna be something done with like butterflies, rainbows, and dragonflies. It's gonna be like hashtag simply relatable with your simple ass.
Yep.
Like, what now? But no, I think it's only but so many wheels
That can be
truly
invented.
because I mean, if you really when a plot is the core, so when all the cores are going to be the same to a degree, not like the same like all the plots, but it's like
something
the
you can
basis is
see.
going to be like boy meets girl, girl gets heartbroken, now boy goes chase girl. It's always going to be something to that effect,
Right.
But even though you can't reinvent the wheel, you can put a different kind of spin on this motherfucker. And I like the spin that they put on this because I give you that the plot is simple, but I feel like the simpleness brings you in, and then the diversity is what replaces the complexity.
You got it. Complexity.
Because I feel like a lot of times people do. I feel like a lot of times what people do, they try to get a simple plot, but they try to like make it
Overly
extremely difficult, and you be like, y'all did too much. You know what I mean? Just keep it simple. Let me be able to follow the course, and just make sure that whatever story you're trying to tell, you tell it,
Right.
and you tell it well.
That's right.
So, you know.
I can agree.
I mean, yeah, like, is it? It's not the simple. It's not the fact that the plot is simple. That like, I mean, I always believe the best ideas is the most simple. You know, because sometimes folks do try to make complex movies, and it just
Aimless.
it just don't work. You know,
Worst movie ever created.
Dev.
Into Titanic is not a complex movie. You know, the plot is kind of simple. You know, people on a boat fall in love. You know,
And die.
But they try to make it. They try to add too many different layers. Just let the boat sink. We could save 2 hours just by bringing the iceberg in.
What?
2 hours earlier.
but it's I guess it's the overused. No, I guess it's the cliche of a guy comes in to rescue someone. You know, that is kind of overdone. You know, but I did like how they took it, I just felt like, well, the plot is, it's cliche, but it's always how you tell your story.
Exactly.
And even though I did see the whole their son, coming like being used, like from the moment he had that first flashback,
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, he has a dead son, like,
Yeah, we just don't know how it happened. I do feel like that was a twist with the sickness, and then the whole voluntarily like taking a job so that you don't see your son die. I felt like that was the twist in it, because I was expecting something bad, but I was like, I was expecting like, okay, yeah, maybe the son caught a stray bullet and I wasn't there to protect him, you know what I'm saying, yada yada yada. But not that I volunteered
To be
go
away.
to war, so I couldn't. So I did not have to stand there and watch my son die. That was a that was a different approach to me.
Like the whole thing did add layers to his character.
There's a lot of flavor to it too.
It's just that
You saw it.
I saw that son. And of course, I didn't know how.
Right, but you saw that, yeah.
Like, yeah, he had that son.
Yeah.
I think we just did a movie with a dead son.
Minority Report. I was thinking the same thing. It's almost the same flashback because his flashbacks was his son on the beach as well.
Yeah.
That's why I was getting confused.
Even though I did like how in the first few flashbacks it was all blurry until we apparently get shot. You finally see the full picture. I guess it symbolized him dying, whatnot. But yeah, but overall, I like this movie. I thought it was pretty good. So, what will y'all rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 15?
Well, I already paid $15.99 for Netflix, but since you asked, no, I thought it was really good. So, I give it a 10, maybe an 11, because I felt like I said, for me to want to go to the movie theater, and I pray that movie theaters come back and we're healthy and we can enjoy those kind of things. But I only really like to go see action films or certain occult films. So this definitely draws you in. I wouldn't feel like I wasted my money. I feel like I went on a journey. I felt like I saw new characters, honestly, from a familiar face, but still a new character. And like I said, I went for a ride. I'm clutching my pearls, seeing children die, and I'm scared for people. I want to cry for him and his loss, and kind of the choices that these other fathers have to make. And yeah, I give it an 11.
I say I give it a 11 too. 11 to 12 because I feel like it was a good movie. I feel like it gave me something that I love. I love action. I love action. I love comedy. And I feel like it gave me action. I feel like it gave me a deeper message, and it gave me a new look at my man Thor through the character Tyler Rate. I'd say my I guess my hiccup, if I have to have any, was y'all didn't have to kill Saju.
He had a long
my
day.
man went hard. It's like y'all could at least gave him that. Y'all didn't have to make Harper, you know what I'm saying, the bad guy. But no, I'll say I give it a 12. Overall, good film, solid film. I'd appreciate it. I will say this though, sidebar. If the movie theater being closed gets people to really get in tune with acting and producing like good quality stuff to make them really compete on these streaming sites, F it. F it, because it's like I want to see people it just pushed him it just pushed him to do something different, just pushed him to be something different. And I feel like since there really isn't too much to do, it forces us as the consumer and the viewer to really sit our monkey asses down and really like tune in and watch, because now we want to see something. And I feel like since entertainment is in high demand right now, is like something like this, because they already confirmed the sequel.
Yeah.
So so it's a good goddamn movie. And I wonder if you had Hollywood fully open and operational, would you get the same product? Would you get the same result?
He was the film was ranked in the top 10. Like now, Netflix reveals the top 10 most popular things, and he stood there for at least a weekend, if not a week.
And that's what like I love the movie. I love the theater experience, but I also like good quality film.
That's important.
And if now I feel like Netflix, Hulu, Prime, or whoever, the streaming services, they're probably not going to pay as much as Hollywood would pay to a degree. So then now it's like, so who's acting because they really love doing it? Who's acting because they really want to give a product to the people? And who's really going to put forth the best effort so that we can get sequels? Because now I feel like you have easier access to the audience through streaming. Because everybody streams for the most part. Not everybody's gonna take their punk ass to the movie theater because everybody don't got no damn car.
I mean, apparently, but okay.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give it a 1050.
The grand hater.
Why could you hate it for?
Cause you are.
How?
Go ahead. Let's hear what you said.
I feel like it was
and that's why you a hater.
Wow. You can get it out.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm got it. Anyways, I feel like it's a solid action film. It's a solid action film that kept the balance of story, action, character, emotions. I felt like it was very grounded, gritty, wasn't over the top. Like, I feel like it was very well crafted. Especially not knowing what kind of budget it has. I felt like it was kind of low budget as far as Hollywood, goes. But they use it well. They focus on technique and the action and cinematography, choreographing the action scenes.
Definitely.
Like forces over style and explosions. A lot of movies tend to be too style based. Like and in a lot of things tend to focus. A lot of the important things suffer when
because
they
they're
focus
trying
too much
to
on the style.
too much flash and bang.
Yes, and I just feel like they did a real good job at making a good quality action flick. And let me see. And the movie kind of, especially when you look at the action scenes and how it felt, it kind of reminded me of Sicario, and a little bit of John Wick, a little bit.
Okay. I've seen John Wick. I don't think I've seen Sicario.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah, Sicario is pretty dope.
Okay.
And and when I say about John Wick, I mean like how well the fight scenes is done.
They kind of flow.
Because John Wick has started to bring back that, in Hollywood, that good action, cinematography, and choreography and I kind of get away from the choppy, the fast cuts,
CGI.
Like,
Keanu.
it's 20 cuts, one punch,
Right. All the angle switches, top view, side view,
Man,
face
just
view.
slap him. Just whoop his ass. And just
Flashback to family, flashing back to the pun.
Like, it's too many cuts for like it just it's so confusing and it's dark, But yeah, like I really love how they took the time and choreographed and worked out the shots to make everything look as if you're right there with them,
I agree with that. I was thinking as you were saying that, like, even things being appropriate amount of action. It's like, this is his job. He's a mercenary. He's got a military background. So he's not just like a top-notch, martial arts fighter with no explanation. He was just, a science teacher beforehand, and now he knows all this mixed martial arts. Or even with Saju, he was former military for his country. And then when you got the kids, they're not busting out these dope moves. They're acting like kids who are, emotional and impulsive. I felt like it was all appropriate. You didn't have like the Jackie Chan or the Bruce Lee children, walking around. So I thought that was cool.
And also like you didn't see anything. Tyler goes and punches the guy. He falls. He falls.
Breaks through 5 walls.
Yeah, like it was nothing.
It was realistic.
Yes, very grounded.
Very grounded.
And gritty and bloody.
So bloody. So bloody.
Yeah. But
he killed that man with a rake, didn't he?
oh yeah.
Look at your reaction. He said, "Wham! That's disgusting."
I forgot about that. Ooh, yeah, that, like,
So you gonna respect the rake now?
yeah, like that made me go.
Yeah, that money was tough right there.
Like, even though they don't really show them, stabbing in the wig, but
It was enough for me.
Yeah.
My Final Destination right before that thing. It's enough for me. I'm scarred. So thank you. That's nasty. He has a family. But yeah.
But anyway, that was it for today's podcast. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give us a like. Share it with your friends.
Please do.
And your mama.
Sure,
your
your mama
cousins,
too. Yeah.
And your baby mama.
Why your baby mama?
Because.
Just cause. Yeah, just share it with everybody.
Yeah. And also you can listen to the podcast on Spotify,
Spotify.
Apple Music, Overtunes, Breaker, pretty much anywhere you can stream podcasts and music. And as always, I'll put all our social media accounts in the descriptions below. But you can shout out your stuff if you want to.
Oh yeah, so my IG tag has changed slightly. It's Tina_Touch757, and you can find me on Facebook still, Tina's Touch, as well as my, as Dev says, government name, Christina C. Conner. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to Film Nerds. We appreciate them so much.
And if y'all looking for him, just go ahead and look on the Most Wanted board.
Nope.
But if you looking for me,
on the Most Wanted board too, why above mines,
No lies told.
I didn't steal them cookies. I just borrowed them.
How you borrow cookies?
Yeah, it don't matter. So, so.
You ain't giving back either.
Yeah, I ain't gonna give them back, and I'll do it again. But if you looking for your boy, you know what I'm saying, the group home hero, podcast play cousin, 757 favorite play cousin, short bus ambassador. All you gotta do, look your boy up at Big Dev _comedy on Instagram. You can hit me up at Big Dev Comedy on Facebook, or look me up by my government name, Devin Roberts. Holler at your boy. Or I'm trying to be multilingual, bilingual, so you can hola at your muchacho.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, it's gonna work today.
It's spelled bilingual.
Wow.
Anyway, like I said, you looking for him. You got the Most Wanted list. When you walk in the corner store and they got the picture of the people that can't come in there, You know,
He right
You
here.
look for Devin, you may have looked on a milk carton.
you know. Well, that's because I'm gonna get advertisement deal. You know what I'm saying? You know, that I can sell anything, baby. I can sell sand to a beach. Come on now. You know.
Anyways, that will do it for today's episode, and we'll catch you next time.
Oh, let me do my dance for y'all real quick. You know, it's a group home hero
It's not a thing.
podcast play.